Yo, what they do?
Hey, Papa Keith, this thing doesn't give us any warning on this platform. I'm like looking down.
My bad. I sent you a little side note, but you was busy. Bow, bow,
I'm
bow,
like
bow.
I'm trying to get the people in here. Okay. I'm trying to
Yes,
get the people, the views over here.
no
And my
doubt.
WhatsApp is going crazy. So they are
Oh,
ready for this
beautiful.
conversation.
All right, all right. Well, listen. First of all, welcome to That Part Podcast 305. I want to welcome the baddest horse, the one and only Janey Tate from High Low News in the building, founder and all of that. Amazing co-host, man. We've been doing this for a couple years, and we're up to our fifth series right now of bringing you this South Florida political podcast called That Part Podcast. My name is Papa Keith, and it's a pleasure to have this opportunity to kind of break down what's going on in the political game here in South Florida from a person who didn't have any interest in politics at one point to now trying to immerse myself in all the things. I don't think I've seen a more exciting time in
Oh, me
politics
too.
here in South Florida. We respectfully call it the circus. All right.
Who's calling it the circus?
Well, I mean, low key, it's in our little intro, Miami's political circus. You know what I mean? But we're not meaning
I
it
know
in a
I'm
different,
being
respectful
facetious.
way. Just meaning there's all kind of stuff going on over there. You got the clowns over there. You got the elephants,
It's just
the
if you saying
donkeys.
there's a lot going on in comparison
Yes.
to a circus, I'll agree. I'll
Okay, very
definitely
good.
agree.
We say it with love. You know what I mean? We mean it with
Oh,
love. We don't mean
definitely.
it in a negative way. All right, for real. But thank you so much for joining us, man. Shout out to everybody. If you in that chat room, please make yourself known. We want to hear from you. We want to shout you out. We want to show you some love, and we definitely want to post that you're here with us. So we'll start doing that. Hey, Claudette in the building.
Wait, how do I
Um,
see? I want to see the people talking too. How do
yeah, I got
I
you.
see them?
Tamila, hey, auntie.
Hey.
My Dukes. Hey, family, let's go. All
Oh,
right,
there
that's
they
what's
are.
up.
Now I can see them. Now I can see
All
them
right,
over
good,
here.
good, good. All right, everybody's ready to go, man. So, yeah, we here for it. Janae, once again, this is a labor of love, and it's sponsored by two things that are near and dear to us for sure. Let's start with that high-low news, hyperlocal news, bringing it to you here in South Florida for excuse me, and brown millennials. This ain't your grandmama news, but it can be.
Look, at this point, it's everybody's news. The way they
Right?
tapped in with high low, I got the college kids all the way to the retirees over here, and I'm loving it, loving it, loving it. Thank you so much for that shout out for high low news, and I'm so happy to partner and help produce this podcast.
Nah, for sure, man. And of course, Just Vote Period, trying to get our young folks involved with democracy, encouraging them, showing them it's cool to vote and stuff like that, man. So we appreciate, of course, those are our labor of love, along with doing this programming here for you today. So today we have a very special guest. You want to tell everybody who our guest is? Before we do our little pre-show.
Look, and I'm still telling everybody, I'm sharing this right now as we speak on High Low News' Facebook page because that's where the people been messing with me a lot at.
Mhm.
But as you saw the headline, we have congressional front runner for District 24, congressional candidate front runner for District 24. Shevrin Jones will be in the building today. Oh my
Yep.
gosh, this is going to be so juicy. The people have been wanting this conversation. And yeah, we about to give it to y'all.
Absolutely,
X gonna
absolutely.
give it to you.
Gonna give it to you. Dun, 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 dun. Look at you going in your old school bag. I love it. All right, so let's have some little small talk before we bring in our guests for sure.
Mhm.
You brought up a great topic pre-show, Janae, and I definitely want to, expound on it and talk about it. The views on the importance of endorsements. Of course, we saw the one of the biggest endorsements from the former seat holder Frederica Wilson and the torch passing to um, former Commissioner Oliver Gilbert the third, and and we were kind of touched on, and how endorsements used to be, and in comparison to
Mhm.
now, and as we talk about back in the days, endorsements used to be like a big thing. It was almost like
Yeah.
a guaranteed thing.
It was, and I think that they still matter,
Hmm.
and I'm excited to get the view of that from our guest today. But for me, um, I just see that there's a difference in how they matter, right?
Mm.
I think there's a faction and group of the voting population where it's like, okay, you co-sign that person. Okay, that means something because I trust your word. So if you're saying this means something. But then there's also a new group of people, especially if we're talking about just using the Frederica Wilson example. There's a
Mm.
younger voting population that may not have the emotional connection to Frederica Wilson. They may know her, may not know her, and it may not hit as hard with that new um part of the voting universe. So
Or they
it's
could
just
just even
interesting
care
to see.
less, right?
Yeah, they could care less. So it's like, but I think it's a difference between my mom and grandmother's generation, baby boomers, and maybe some older Gen Xers to like
Mm.
millennials and Gen Zers. Like where it's like, okay, you're saying this is cool, but I'm just gonna vote with the person because that I know this candidate personally, or I've had a personal influence from this candidate. So yeah, you cool and all. I maybe don't even know you, so you endorsing them may not mean something to a certain age group. So for me, I think it depends on like the potency of it all. I think it depends on the age group, in the right now of like from a candidate endorsement.
That's a good point, and I want to bring up Kendrick Meek in this too because
Hmm.
out of all the names, look at you. Look, I finished mine. I'm
Oh,
worse. Okay, but it's funny enough. I think the one of the really good case studies is the Kendrick Meek situation, right?
hmm.
So he's also running for congressional seat, District 24, which Shevrin is as well. And the interesting part I find about it is that talking about the strength of the name, not even so much the endorsement, but the strength of the name, is that even in his campaign, he's not even using his like junior. He's using Kendrick Meek, right? So
Hmm.
I think even them as candidates or their team understanding like some of the weight that the names can carry in similarity to the endorsements, right? Because that's a
Yeah.
form of endorsement. You know what I'm
It
saying?
is.
Right
It
there.
really and to your point, and I cannot wait to interview him because I want to know why he's not going by Junior. Like I want to
Right.
know why is he going by Kendrick Meek and not Kendrick Meek Jr. And I also feel like I'll just leave. I just
We'll
feel
wait.
like to me it feels like you're trying to trick the voter a little bit into thinking it's your dad. Like,
Well,
whether that's
I'll say
true or
this.
not, but that's what it's giving because why not put the junior on there? Because your
Right.
dad was a congressman, right?
Right.
And a very popular congressman. So if
Right.
we automatically see that name and just see Kendrick Meek, we're going to think that it's the dad and not the son. So why not now I'm starting to see his picture with the name, but at
Right.
first it was just the name and it's a little misleading. So I really want to know why he decided to go that
Can I
route
say
versus.
something that might be in his defense as a
Mhm.
junior? Because I'm a junior too. I don't use it.
I had
I know,
no
but I'm
idea.
sort of a fake junior, right? Because
Mhm.
my father's name is Keith, but we have different middle names. So
Oh,
technically,
you're not a junior. You're not a
right,
yeah,
right,
you're
right,
not a junior.
right. But growing up as a kid, they would call me Junior because
Okay.
my father and I, Keith Junior, they would say, because my father and I had the same last name. So, um, I would say this: it could be that, and I could be dead ass wrong, and we'll hear from him. It could be the fact that the junior could have a negative connotation, like because my
That's a good
first
point.
right, because
Like
my
sunning you or like you younger,
right,
immature.
right, and
Gotcha.
then the fact that he looks young, is young, unknown in the sense of like putting in the work to for us here in South Florida. I don't know what he's done otherwise, so I don't want to over criticize until I speak with them. But that could be a part of the reason. So I'll give him
Mhm.
that. But I'm dying to hear what he has to say.
That is a great point that I did not think about, but it actually makes sense. And as someone who's trying to be taken seriously, especially being the youngest person in the race, I can actually see that as like, hey, I don't want to be introduced as junior or dismissed as that. But I also think too that if me and my mom had the same name and we were going and I was going for the same job as her at the same company as her and used her name and not differentiated myself, it is
Mm.
giving the to me it feels misleading because I'm almost like I'm representing myself as the as my predecessor, like and so if someone's taking me as thinking that I'm my mom and not me. And
Right,
so
right,
that's
right.
why I'm like, I
No,
get it
and you're well within
totally.
your rights. Yeah.
I get it totally, but it's like you're running for the same position that your dad had, and he's, beloved in the community. It just kind of, it just feels a little,
Shady.
mm,
Yeah, for sure.
mm, a
And,
little
and and not
misleading.
and not even that, just even writing on his mother's name, just the meek name in general.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like that. So, so that, talking about the importance of endorsements, which is the original topic we were talking about. If you just joined us, welcome, That Part Podcast. Appreciate y'all. I have to add in though, you look really cozy.
Oh, I'm on my
Yeah,
couch. This is my new podcast set. Thank
I
you.
like that. Shout out to your new podcast setup. Our guest is here.
Get this
I, I
started.
guess it's here. So if you want to get this party started, we can definitely get this party started. You know what I'm saying? I'm excited. I'm excited for our guest to join us, man. I ain't gonna lie to tell you. But
Yeah.
let me start things off. He's definitely here. He's ready to go. So let me introduce him the right way. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, our guest today, as Janey has announced already, is Shevrin Jones. He's a Miami Gardens native, raised in Carroll City neighborhood, who built his career in education before entering public service. A former AP chemistry teacher at Florida Atlantic University High School, went on to found Lead Nation, a South Florida nonprofit focused on youth leadership, social entrepreneur training. Jones was first elected to the Florida House of Representatives in 2012, serving 4 terms before winning election to Florida State Senate 34 in 2020, becoming the first openly gay person elected in the Florida State Senate. In Tallahassee, he authored legislation including the Dignity for Incarcerated Women Act, the Blue Envelope Program, that's improving police interactions with people on autism spectrum, and the Teddy Bridgewater Act. That's a more recent one, supporting youth athletic coaches and boosters. He became one of legislature's most outspoken voices against Florida's Don't Say Gay law. He also served as chair of the Miami-Dade Democratic Party and was on track to become Senate Democratic leader in 2028 before stepping away from re-election to run for Congress. Jones launched his campaign for Florida's 24th congressional district in June 2026 at his family's church, who I actually used to go to. You know what I mean? We'll get into
Mm,
that. Coinita Worship Center.
really?
Yes, I went there in Pembroke Pines. There's a quick story and joke about it, but I'll wait for him to come in.
Okay.
Founded by his parents, his father, Eric Jones, a former West Park mayor. He's running to succeed retiring 8-term U.S. Representative Frederica Wilson in a crowded Democratic primary that also includes Miami-Dade Commissioner Oliver Gilbert, who was endorsed by Wilson, former Commissioner Jean Monestine, physician, and a lot of other stuff, Rudolph Moise, and business owner Christine Salon Jules. If elected, Jones will become Florida's first openly LGBT member of Congress, which is huge. He's currently
Mhm.
pursuing a PhD in educational leadership at FAU. The Democratic primary is August 18th, with the general election on November 3rd. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome our very amazing and esteemed guest, Senator Shevrin Jones.
Hey, let's go. Bow, 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 bow.
Chev in the building. What's up, man?
Hey, y'all are crazy. What's up, man? I'm good to
Just a
see
little
y'all.
bit. Hey, we want to thank you. We know your schedule is crazy. Talking about
Yes.
crazy, right? We know your schedule is crazy. So thank you for taking our, kind of last minute invitation to get you on.
Only you and Janae can pull this stunt. That's it. Only you and Janae can pull this stunt.
Look, I came to you after the event. I was like, Shevrin, can you
Right on
please?
Monday. Like everybody else, I'm like call Kai, call Carrington. I'm like Janae, like hey, 8:30 on Wednesday.
We appreciate you very
It's
much.
Definitely.
all good. It's all good.
Look, we got a lot of questions, and we know your time is tight. Look, the Chevronites, I just named them that. The Chevronites are in the chat. they are
Shevrin
they are
Jones in the
ready to
chat.
go. So, PK, if you're okay with me jumping off the questions, we'll get right
Please.
into it. So, our
Mm.
first question of the night is for people who may be meeting you for the first time, tell us who you are beyond your campaign. Who are you when the cameras are off?
I am a teacher. I am a development professional, so I fundraise for national nonprofit organizations. That's my full time job. I am an uncle. I am a son. I am a husband. I am. That is who I am at my absolute core. I love people. My full story is that it was absolutely because of my students that I got involved with politics. And when I tell you that I live by that even to this day of why I got involved with politics, and I will always say this, that when I got involved, I said that I did not and never wanted anything out of the deal, and I still don't. And that's how I move, and that's who I am. I'm a normal guy that love people, and I enjoy helping people, and so I'm happy to be a part of the process to be able to do it. And I've been doing it for 14 years, and it's been a real pleasure to do it. That's why I am at my core, and I love spending time at home. I love being home.
That's what's up.
I
You're
feel
on
you on
track
that.
to become, Senate Democratic leader in 2028. Why give that up now to run for a crowded congressional primary? Why are you running for Congress and why now?
Why not right now? Right? I think the moment calls for it right now. If I was interested in just being a title, I mean, someone asked me last week, like, you were in line to become the most powerful person inside the state of Florida. That doesn't move me. Yeah, I think power is a hell of a drug, right? I think
Mm,
how people have used it and how people use their power is also indicative of who they are as an individual. I said this on Monday. Like my dad always said that you can't if you don't love the people, you can't lead the people, and that's just I absolutely believe that. Yeah, Cornel West says the same thing, and yeah, being a part of where it's all happening in Washington D.C. and where it is literally turned into it's not the petri dish because I think Florida has been the petri dish for the policies that we see today. But I think Washington D.C. Has festered with so much, not just division, but it's not working on behalf of the absolute people who need it most, right? The people who are struggling. I went to a home last Saturday when I was knocking on doors. Her name was Miss Robinson, and her husband just passed away, maybe like a month or so ago, and she didn't know how she was gonna pay her mortgage, and she came out, she had a brace on, she has an oxygen on her, and I immediately teared up because
mm.
she didn't know how she was about to pay her not only pay her mortgage, but she had to figure out whether or not she was going to have to give up the home that she lived in for the past 50 years with her husband. Like that's a failed system, right? That's not somebody who should have to deal with the loss of a husband and also trying to figure out how she's going to now make it and figure out like where she's going to live. She has no children, she has no family nearby, and of course that is a flaw of the system. That's why I ran for office. I ran because children couldn't read and write, and I asked the principal like, why can't these kids read? And he said policies. I said I'm running for
Mm.
office. And that's why I ran. And listen,
That's
transparent moment, right? I also think that when we look at what has happened in Florida, when we look at what has happened in Washington, and when we don't see how it is directly benefiting people, not only should we ask the question, I think the right people have to be there to force the answer of what's happening. And I want to be a part of that.
That's dope. I have a follow up. I remember I did an interview with you, and I was watching your trajectory, and I mentioned to you governor. You know, I don't know if you remember that interview.
I
I
remember.
honestly, with the question I just asked, I honestly thought that that was your path. You know what I mean? Not matter what you're doing at all, but I honestly thought that that was your path. What do you have to say to that? I'm just curious.
Papa Keith, I don't even know how I got here, man. like like God does all things well. I am a product truly of if it's God's will, right? Like my dad, when I told my dad I was going to run for Congress, and he and I had a long conversation, and he just told me, he said, if it's God's will, it will.
Mm, I like that.
And I stood by that, right? And that's why I operate this way on the campaign, the way I do. Like, I don't I don't have to do tricks. I don't have to do any of that to win a race. Like if people gonna make the decision on whether or not who they want, right? I don't have to do that. I rather operate based off of the work I've done, how I've been able to help people, and the policies that I put forth. If it's God's will, it will. I don't have to do tricks and things to make that happen, right? I just rather be transparent and making it happen.
So
And my question, just keeping it still more about you, because I like these interviews and they're long form. People get to know the candidate.
Yeah.
I want to know what is something that's a common misconception or something that voters misunderstand about you that you would like to clear up. You know.
Mm. When I first ran for the Senate, I heard the main thing why people said they were against me was like, oh, he's gonna go up there and all he's gonna do is fight for LGBTQ issues.
Mm,
That was like the constant. Like people were like, oh, he's going up there. He just want to fight for gay issues, not even realizing that when I walk into a room, I am a black man before I'm anything, and I don't back down from the fight for black folk. Period. Point blank. End of story. I think what we have seen in the legislature over the past 8 years under Ron DeSantis, um, there was no way in hell that I could sit back in committee, on the floor, or any one of those places, and say I'm just gonna sit here and not talk real talk based off of the needs of our people, or vote on policies on the backs of our people. I'm not doing that. Never done that. I never will do that. Like you can have the seat if it's me, or um, having to do something on the backs of people. I won't do that. I saw somebody post yesterday, on social media, um, talking about a vote that I made when it came to the airport in West Palm Beach for Donald Trump. Um, and in the first committee stop, and that's one misconception I can absolutely make. In the first committee stop, which was community affairs, I voted for it, right? And that was before the occupant of the White House uh, made his comments about Michelle and Barack Obama. Uh, and at that moment in time, it was just a bill that just needed to get out of committee. But if you see the second committee, and I'm gonna post it tomorrow, you'll see that we went absolutely in on them
mm,
for who he is as an individual, and for what he said, and what we should not be memorializing.
mm.
you
Thank you
made
for breaking that
history.
down.
Yeah. You have a follow up, Janae?
No, no, no. I was just saying.
Okay.
Thank you.
You made history as the first openly gay person. You just mentioned it earlier that that was a concern of people. You made history, elected to the Florida Senate. What was that journey like for you personally, especially coming from a family rooted in the Black church?
Yeah.
Like, what does it mean to have your family, your father especially, in
Hmm.
your corner through that?
Man, listen, my parents just love their kid, man. They just love their kid. Like my parents have their beliefs. I don't fault my parents for that at all. I don't. My parents, they're amazing individuals. They raised my brothers and I to treat people with respect. And yeah, my parents, they've made their case on and what they agree and what they don't disagree with, right? I mean, and I'll never say anything bad about my parents. And what I tell people all the time, the people who use my sexuality as a reason not to vote for me, then you weren't gonna vote for me anyway. You weren't. So I mean, so why are we doing that? Because what I can tell you is, you can ask all my constituents whether you supported me before when I got in the Senate or not. When you walked in that office, I helped you. I
Mm.
if you stop me, because it doesn't matter to me, because now it's no longer a race. It's me telling you I'm gonna do what I said I was gonna do. And at the end of the day, I mean, what does it mean? It's made me more authentic. It's made me more empathetic towards people. I live with this concept in my mind of that if I see that you are interrupting somebody else's human experience, I'm coming for you.
Mm.
Because I will fight for your human experience. I don't care who you are, right? And that's just how I see it. So, I mean, what does it mean? I hope I can be a role model to someone. Somebody posted on Facebook that, I don't know, that was a big talk yesterday. Somebody posted that I was a what type of role model am I to children? I'm gonna address this here
Mm.
Saw that.
since it was
So
posted, right?
let's get
I'm
into
gonna
it.
post it. Absolutely. First of all, I have a niece. I have nephews. I was a teacher. When I tell you, there was not an ounce of, I think it's disgusting for people who put their hands on children. And when I tell you that you want to talk about individuals who've been through a life where who was inappropriately touched when they were when they were a kid, that's me.
Mm.
So you think I'm about to do that to a child? And these implications that the people of the LGBTQ community are some type of groomers? No. Matter of fact, if you want to look at the statistics of it, LGBTQ people are not the individuals who are known to touch children inappropriately. It's actually adults in religious institutions.
Ooh.
When I got into this position, it was to call out that type of stuff for people who are not just interrupting other people's human experience, but it's also to call out that type of bigotry. And whether I win or lose, I'll still call people like that to the carpet because it's nasty, it's unintegral, it's disgusting, and it's inhumane.
Mm. Look, Shevrin, this is what I like about your style, especially you just go, you address the thing, you call the thing the thing. You was like, okay,
Absolutely.
this is what. So I appreciate you because I actually was going to ask you about that. So you
Yeah.
beat me to
No.
my question,
Yeah,
Absolutely.
but
we definitely appreciate that. You know.
yeah, and I want to follow up on that because I attended the event on the endorsement event on Monday at Greater New Bethel Missionary Baptist Church in Miami Gardens, and it was an endorsement announcement event. Um, And one thing that I've talked about offline with different people is really, let's just call the thing a thing. The significance or the symbolism of black male pastors embracing an openly gay black man. Can you speak to what that means or what that means for you? And what does that say about the black church in this time that we're in right now? Because they're, putting their arms around you and loving you. And for me, love is love. I'm a person, none of this even, I even hate that we even have to have these conversations,
Yeah.
but we understand what the culture of Black church has been for decades,
Hmm.
at this point. So can you speak to that? What that meant for you?
The black church would not be where it is if it was not for the LGBTQ community.
Can we talk about the choirs that will be lame AF?
I
I
can't.
mean, listen. It. I mean, it's just. I'll just be honest, and that's not me just pontificating. That's is actual. You could read about it, while we're talking about reading, people reject what they don't understand, right? Even to the point to where when people look at what the pastors did, the pastors, it wasn't them putting a stamp of approval over a thing. It was them
Mm,
saying that we approve of this leadership, right? Um, I know I since the time that I've been in the legislature, even before I've gotten into the legislature, it has always been about me watching what good leadership looked like, and really, and my mom said I love my son. She sure
I
does.
love her.
She sure does. But look at what leadership looks like, and really just trying to model myself. You mean myself after that. Um, yeah, y'all got me going down a rabbit hole. Listen, we.
I mean,
I
it's
mean,
been
no,
it's been
because
the
listen,
chatter. We should
no,
address
it
it.
is. We should address it. Well, I mean, because at the end of the day, Pastor Jackson got up there, and he read my record, right? Like I sat there in amazement, even as he was talking about it, and even as he was speaking, I appreciated the fact that even he said we might not agree on everything, but the one thing we can agree on is the fact that he has showed up for us.
Mm.
If there is nothing else, the people of this district, what they have seen time and time again, that I don't, not only do I show up for my community, I absolutely make it a priority to make sure that I show up for my community, whether I'm in person or whether I'm in Tallahassee, because that's just what they asked me to do. So I want to make sure I do it. Now I can't make it to every event, but here we are.
Mm.
So,
Wow.
and to put a cap on it, I appreciate the pastors and the people, and I think everybody has the opportunity. Everybody, those pastors who came again, they did that in a capacity to say we approve of your leadership.
I appreciate you for addressing that because I got a few phone calls just from people who were like, "Was does this mean that they are approving XYZ thing? Are they the lifestyle, as some people call it?" Or so I'm actually glad that you put some nuance in there to explain to people, like, okay, this is what this means, this is what they're saying. Um, and it's
And
interesting too. And I got these calls from straight Black men. They're like, "So what are they saying? Like, are
But
they
I,
saying,
I
are they
but
approving it?"
I
You
mean,
I
know.
find it so
So
sad.
I'm glad we're talking about it.
I'm glad we're
like,
talking about it, but I find it so sad that we have to at this, at
Yeah.
this
like, but
day and
but
age, you know.
but you know what's crazy? Like the crazy part is like why are we so enamored just with this one thing? But we're not addressing the deacon who is inappropriately touching a child,
Hmm.
or the one who's sleeping with somebody else's wife. I mean, like if we're gonna have real conversations, let's have real conversations about this thing, and let's not play this game as if like this is what's destroying the church,
Right,
Mm.
right?
right.
Or destroying our communities, because it's just not true.
Well, again, thank you for addressing it. I know it must be frustrating, but I think that we're able to have like a real down to earth conversation about it, and hopefully, we can lay a lot of this stuff to rest and move forward and focus on the issues. Now, before we talk about some of the issues, tell our audience what exactly is the job of a member of Congress and tell us what can you do and what you can't do. You
Yeah,
know what I mean?
yeah.
Yeah, it's a
Well, I can
Congress person.
tell. Well, first of all, I got to give shout out to Congresswoman Wilson because the resources that she brought back to this district and back into this community is absolutely what a member of Congress should be doing, right? It's hard to pass laws and bills in Congress, but the one thing that you do have in your pocket, not even your back pocket, in your front pocket, is to be able to bring dollars back into your community. You look at the infrastructure, you look at the programs, you look at all those things that has already happened within this district, and even within other districts. That's what the member of Congress is. That's one additive of what they should be doing, and that is bringing those resources back into the district.
So do they give you like a budget? How does that work in that regard? Like do they give you a
So
budget and say,
the
hey, with
appro-
that budget you you
the
appropriate?
appropriation process in Congress is similar to the appropriation process in the state legislature, while although of course different in how it's executed.
Gotcha.
But you have to lobby the agency for the dollars, and you have to go through the process of going through the appropriations committees and things and lobbying for those dollars to bring back. But it also requires you working along with your local governments to making sure that you're communicating with them on how we all need to be lobbying for these dollars so you can bring these dollars back home. Congresswoman Wilson was good at that. Her office reaches out and say, "Hey, listen, this is the dollars we're trying to get for you. You all should, if you have the ability, come talk to this person, come talk to this individual to move these dollars," which is extremely important. We do that now in Tallahassee. When people
Is
ask
it
for dollars,
is it easier from the state level versus the federal level or
I ain't never served in Congress yet, but I tell you, after I get there, I tell you after I get there, have me back on, and I tell you,
great
it's
answer.
like it's like Sega Genesis. Like I tell you the level once I get there.
Got you. Thank you. I'm just so intrigued by it. But you right, you right.
I'm just saying.
Uh, Chef, just switching gears a little bit. South Florida families are feeling a squeeze every time they go to grocery stores or fill up their gas tanks. What can a member of Congress realistically do to help lower the cost of living for everyday Americans?
First of all, we have to hold accountable of how America is wasting money, right?
Mm,
And how we are spending money. And I think we have to recognize that. I also would say that putting forth policies that we believe could be made in a bipartisan way to be able to work its way through the process to at least get to the president for consideration. Now, of course, it is not that simple, right? It takes time to get a bill through the process, but I truly believe that one of the things I'll give you one thing that I have constantly thought of. There's the cliff effect, right? The cliff effect basically is talking about individuals who are um, right at a point doing where they have whether they're making a minimum wage or what so have you, uh, but they say they get a raise, maybe $300-400. If that raise take them over a limit, now they lose government benefits. Now they use all these. They lose the services to take care of themselves and their children, all because they have the opportunity to come up. That's not a Democrat Republican issue. That's a policy that could be put in place and how we could make sure that we are protecting families, or what policies are we putting in place to protect families. That's a policy you can we can work on to protect families, because there are Republicans also who fall into that category. There are Democrats who fall into that category. There are independents who fall into that category. Those are the type of policies that we can do that make sense, that we can work through a process and where it can reach people. We have to begin to think outside of the box on ideas for Congress to work together, to talk together again. Again, I ain't never been there before. So in my mind, I'm thinking it's possible, right? But I truly believe that it can be a thing. But I can continue working how I did when I was in Tallahassee, and that was working, having the conversations, and building the relationship with individuals, but also holding you accountable at the right time.
Mm,
That's what's
thank
up.
you.
If elected, what are the top three issues you'd focus on during your first term?
It would absolutely be affordability. Yeah, we just talked about that. This district right now is we're under a huge remaking, so it is absolutely infrastructure, and that also includes how people are getting around here within our community. That's, I mean, whether cars or other modes of transportation, and last but not least, we have to address our education system. Our children are losing proficiency at an alarming rate. And we have to begin to work with our states, our school boards, and figure out what is the best way to get our children back on track. And under that, as far as education is concerned, and making sure our teachers are respected and that have adequate funding.
Thank you. Transportation continues to be one of South Florida's biggest challenges. We've been talking about this on social for the last couple of days now on my page, but we know we've been talking about this for decades. And to me, for South Florida, especially Miami, to become a world class city, we need rapid mass transit. What role should Congress play in improving rapid mass transit throughout Miami-Dade and Broward County?
Well, I think right now we just saw the Miami-Dade County Commission is negotiating with Brightline to help them get out of the rut that they're in. I think the conversations have already been had in trying to build the North Dade corridor. I think that is something that not only should continue to be a conversation, but figure out what is the process plan for actually making this absolutely ready, and be for people to be able to utilize, but it needs to be planned out. But I also make it clear that we're not going to build ourselves out of this, and I'm talking about roads.
Mm,
As we continue to grow as a state, and people continue to move to Miami-Dade County and to across South Florida, it has to we have to create infrastructure in a way that people can move around town, not just to get to work, but also just move to wherever they're going. You businesses are cannot be prosperous if infrastructure is the barrier, or kids can't get to school if infrastructure is the barrier, or people can't get to work if infrastructure is the barrier. Right now, people already cannot live where they work, and they have to get in their cars and drive miles and miles away to be able to go where they need to go. So if we're going to be serious about mass transit, we have to make sure that we're serious about making sure that it's affordable for the individuals to be able to carry it. And in Florida, it needs to make sense.
mm.
So, immigration is deeply personal for many families here in South Florida. Where do you stand with temporary protected status, and what broader immigration reforms would you support? As a matter of fact, I'm going to go to that event tomorrow at the Little Haiti Cultural Center.
Mm-hmm. I'll be
You know,
there.
so oh, you be there too. All right, so I'll see you there. But can you speak on that?
Absolutely. First of all, the Haitian people in this community are the backbone, the fabric of this community and this country. Point blank, end of story. I think we know that for a fact.
Hmm.
The millions of Haitians that fall victim to this inhumane treatment of people who have built their lives here, built their families here, built their businesses here, and now this country is turning their back on them. It's absolutely insane to me. And the problem is that the Haitian people think they just fighting for the Haitian people. But the Haitian people realize that if we get free, we free everybody. Because they realize this is deeper than us. And so when you look at what the federal government is doing for individuals who've not only been here but bent their lives here, is un-American at its core. Even when you got the president of the United States said that we gonna allow white South Africans into our country, in the same breath, you get rid of the individuals who built the fabric of this country.
Wild,
Yeah, wow.
wild.
My next question is about small businesses. Small businesses are the backbone of many neighborhoods in District 24. What would you do in Congress to help entrepreneurs start, grow, and keep their businesses open?
Making sure that we as a community, making sure that small businesses have access to the small business administration in front of their faces. A lot of people, even who are in business, who have these small businesses, many of them, they don't believe that they have access to even sell out the opportunities. How do we do that? How can we figure out the best way to put these opportunities where people can have access to them, whether it's through mobile stations. I'm just throwing something out there, and I'm talking about mobiles, or whether it's putting it inside of community centers where there are drop-ins, where people have the opportunity to go to these places to figure out whether they qualify for the loan, to an absolute session on how to fill out the paperwork. I mean, the list goes on. We have to make give people the opportunity to see that it's possible for them to start their own business, putting it in their faces to be able to do that, right? And not just being transparent, but being accessible to them so they can have access to it.
Mm. Uh, I have
Go
a
ahead.
follow-up to that because just me personally, I started the process for federal contracting right before the 2024 election, and I was heartbroken when Kamala didn't win because I knew what that meant for me as a business and what like minority contracting would look like, the 8A program. I know that certain requirements for minority businesses have been removed in federal contracting. And let's be real, government contracting has been a way for economic growth and wealth for a lot of Black owned and minority businesses.
Mm-hmm.
So I would love to know from you, Chevron, like, is there a role that Congress plays in helping, put back some of those programs, or like, what are your thoughts around like those very, tangible things that do help minority businesses? And what could you do if elected to Congress to help, businesses like myself?
Well, first first thing the business we're gonna have to do is repeal some of these state laws that went against diversity, equity, and inclusion and took them out of government programs.
Mm,
Like a lot of that is going to have to be unraveled because currently how some of the laws are written to where you cannot write particular grants and things of that nature based off of an individual's sexual orientation, race, and all these other things that they made mention of. So the first thing we're going to have to do is roll back those things and begin to, sorry to say it, penalize states who have those type of policies that are not giving people that type of access, or especially when it comes to their small businesses. So that's the first thing that we have to do, and then the second thing we have to do, I think we have to look at how do we incentivize communities who have a certain amount of minority businesses inside their community. You can give tax credits or tax breaks to individuals that make sense for communities. And I think again, I think we just have to get creative. But it's not just a government thing, right? I think a federal thing. I think this is an opportunity for the federal government to work with our states directly to figure out what does those incentives possibly look like. What does those tax credits or tax breaks probably look like? Working with their legislatures and doing it. And because I've been a member of the legislature, and would be a member of Congress, I don't have a problem with working with state legislators on policies that we can match up on together, that we can basically run them in tandem. Maybe they pass it as an idea in the state legislature first, which could be the model for the entire country.
mm.
Uh,
Thank
Senator, could you talk about some of the cities that are, because it's been redistricted. So can you talk
Mm-hmm.
about some of the cities now that would be under your watch in this district?
Is
24.
actually, yep, is most of the cities that all of the cities that I've always represented except Dania. Miami Gardens, Opelika, unincorporated Dade, you got Wynwood. I don't represent the latter portion of Miami-Dade County, but there. Miramar, West Park, Pembroke Park, Hollywood, Hollandale, in Dania. Like I've represented these people for years. I started off in the House in District 101, and I represented from Miramar to Hollandale to Hollywood. And when I got into the Senate, I represented Miramar, Hollywood, West Park, portions of Hollandale, and then Miami Gardens. And for the past 6 years, I've represented Miami Gardens, Opelika, in the southern portions of Miami-Dade County.
If you could bring one major federal investment back to South Florida or your district, what would it be and why?
It would be road dollars.
Mm,
It would be infrastructure dollars. And the reason why is because we are really the gateway to economic growth in this state. Like we are a donor county, tri county actually. Like Miami, Broward, and Palm Beach County basically funds the state of Florida, right? We are the gateway, and so our infrastructure, our roads, our mass transit, that those things are essential for the growth of this of South Florida. So that would be, and it's not bringing funding back; it's enhancing those dollars that I believe needs to happen. Because I believe they exist, but we have to begin to work with our partners at the state and the Department of Transportation to figure out how they can move those dollars faster. Because a lot of the time, a lot of these projects bottleneck because of politics.
And Senator Jones, I just want to be mindful of your time. We do have a few more questions, but I just want to make sure, like, are we still good on time? Because I know okay. Just want to make sure, because I'm gonna roll back. I'm gonna roll into these next few questions, okay? But I want to be respectful of your time. Um, my next question is: of everything that you passed in Tallahassee, which one are you proudest of, and why? And how does that same approach translate to what you do and what you want to prioritize on a national level?
Mm, man, I did a lot of good policy. That actually came from people though. Like people bought the policies from like various communities. Here's what I'm gonna do. I'll give you my three, two, one, and then I'll explain my one. I'm gonna stretch the rules for 2 seconds. So, my third favorite bill was the Teddy Bridgewater Act. It is absolutely. I have fun with that. So that's my. I mean, okay, you're a bull, so you get it. So that's my third favorite.
Sometimes.
My second one is the blue envelope for children with autism. I mean, not children with autism, with people with autism and their interaction with police officers. Making sure that police
Mm,
officers are mandatory, that they have a 3 hour mandatory training on how to interact with autistic individuals who are driving a car. And the autistic people who identify of having autism, they have a blue envelope where they put their license, registration, and insurance card. And if they're ever pulled over by police, because the police is trained, they hand them over the blue envelope, and they know that this individual is nonverbal.
mm,
But my favorite one is dignity for incarcerated women and dignity for incarcerated pregnant women. Uh, I talk about it all the time because it's probably where I got my grounding on um, filing policies that people could feel, see, and touch.
mm,
That was it. I mean, the fact that women who are incarcerated, although did whatever they did, uh, but are being robbed of their dignity is in their humanity is crazy. Like we weren't supplying these women with basic feminine hygiene products. I don't care what anybody has done. Like you don't treat people like animals, especially like not a woman. And then for dignity for incarcerated pregnant women, um, I mean you got Tammy Jackson who had her baby on the floor of a jail cell, shackled, um, and the baby died. Um,
oh, God.
that's inhumane. That's not how we should operate. So those are my three, two, ones. I'm those are most proud. The ones I'm most proud of. And
thank you
how
for
does it
sharing.
translate? Not how does it translate to Congress? I will say that it translates to Congress because I believe all of those are national models, state models that can become, excuse me, are national models that can be used to spread across the country.
Good stuff. We were talking before you came on about endorsements and how much they've changed over the years. In a race like this, in this day and age with fragmented audiences, do you still think endorsements matter to sway or win voters to a candidate?
For some people look at endorsements, and some people don't. I think if we look across the country and we see how people are operating in elections, um, people's interests have changed. Um, and people look at endorsements, they'd be like, okay, great, that's your choice, but not mine. um, and I think it's commendable for people to endorse individuals. I mean, because that means that um, you legitimize this individual, or you endorse for whatever reason. But whether or not it's the end all be all, people are not voting like that anymore.
That part.
Thank you for clarifying that. I mean, but you do have endorsements as well, so
I do, I do, I do, I
so
do, I do.
you would say it
I
matters to on a certain level, or
listen again. I mean, you post endorsements to because people who are probably looking at those endorsements, they want to see like who else is with this person, like who else is with them. I mean, so you're
So,
probably
so
looking at
it
it like,
applies to whoever it wants to
yeah,
apply to.
whoever
Yeah.
want to. So yeah, I mean, if you get it, then you flaunt it. You should because you don't know who might be. Oh, I'm influenced by this person. So yeah.
thanks for breaking that down and clarifying that. My next question is about accountability. How do you stay accountable to everyday South Florida residents once you're actually in Washington? What does accountability look like for you in practice once elected? Would that be town halls, office hours, or something else? But I would like to know, like, how would you keep, your tentacles and staying accessible to the community once you're in Washington?
Yeah, I will continue doing enhance what we're doing now. I think what we've done it has worked for us. The town hall meetings has worked for us. We the People University have worked for us. The house meetups have worked for us. Like those are the things that yeah, I will continue to do. I mean, you stay with the people and you know what the people want because you stay close to the people, right? And yeah, I think that's it's extremely important. And like people think that like our community that we're not as if we don't want to be savvy in what and how things is happening in government. That's not even real. Like people absolutely want to know what is happening in their government and how it affects them. We just have to offer it to them, right? And I that's one of the things I will continue to do. It's worked for me. It has absolutely worked for me. I think the community enjoy it. I mean, we have shameless plug commercial Monday. I look forward to you all coming to the town hall meeting on property taxes that's happening at Rolling Oaks Park at 6:30 p.m. So please come out to that. But I will continue to do things like that because I think it's important.
That's what's up. We want to give you 1 minute to speak directly to an undecided voter, why they should trust you with their vote, and why you are the best person to represent District 24.
I would say that I'll start off I'll end how I started off. That when I got into politics for the very first time, I made it clear that I never wanted anything out of the deal. All I wanted to do was help people, and I wanted to serve people the way that I wanted to be served, and that is being transparent, and that is making sure that I bring as much information as possible to the people I'm serving. I have been consistent in that. I have not wavered in that. And more than anything, as I said before, that I fight for people's human experience. And that means that anything that's interrupting that, whether individuals are making policies that ensure that you can't live, eat, sleep, and take care of your family, or even if that means that there are policies that's being made that's going against your humanity, I fight against that. I fought against that, and I will continue to fight against that. People should not be swayed on whether or not who has the most signs or who have that goes for me too. Who have the most mailers and or who have the most likes? No, who's going to deliver or who has delivered before for you before. I know I'm that guy, and I'll continue to be that guy. I've been consistent. I'm going to remain consistent because consistency has worked for me.
That's what's up.
Okay,
That
okay.
part.
But this leads into my our last official question. Um, Imagine it's 2 years from now, and we invite you back to that part podcast for an update. What's the headline you hope, shameless plug, Hilo News is writing about your first 2 years in Congress?
Shevrin Jones delivered on his promises.
And that's an exclamation point. Brr, 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 brr.
Mic
Look,
drop.
look, here's another follow-up, and this ain't even on the paper, but since they in the chat so heavy, the Chevronites, the your how do you feel? Because I've not seen this, and I'm not, I ain't that old, but I've been covering local politics for the last 16 years, right?
Mm-hmm.
I've not seen this much engagement from a group of people for a local election. Can you talk to me about what it feels like when you see the Chevronites, as I called them tonight, when you see them going so hard in person and on social media? Can you just speak to that and what that means to you?
Man, I listen. I love my I'm with Chef crew. That's is yeah we it's a pleasure to it's a pleasure to know you're loved. And I don't take it for granted. Yeah, I said something to Papa Keith when I came in to the show not too long ago. And I spoke to his humanity as an individual, right? And like these people who we who I know love me and I love them. I just want them to know that I honor you, as you honor, that not as you honor me, but as you support me. Like I support you, but support you by honoring your humanity, man.
Mm.
Because and I'm not trying to be all deep and wonderful with it, but like the reason why I don't take it for granted is because when I show up, I truly show up as my authentic self, right? And that's all I know how to be. I've tried to be other things, it just don't work for me. It don't, and I can only be myself, and it feels good, and I'm humbled by it.
That's what's up. Just wanna. I know we closing out. I just wanted to share a quick story with you about you and Koinonia and your dad. Um, so I used to be notorious. I don't know if I shared this full story with you.
Oh
I used to be
gosh.
notorious for falling asleep in church.
Oh god.
Right. So like, if I get invited out to church, it's like a struggle. Right.
Yeah.
I will
Yeah.
fall asleep. I became a member of
Mm,
Koinonia
okay.
because I could not fall asleep in that church.
Wow.
No, this is like a real story.
Oh
And
wow.
one thing I respected about Koinonia, and correct me if I'm wrong, used to be on the drums, right?
That was my brother on the drums. I
That
was on the
that was your
praise team.
brother on the drums?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah. We look alike.
got you. My my bad. I thought it was you, but just to let y'all know, like
They do look alike. They do look alike.
Oh,
okay,
wait. Pause, Papa Keith. Wait, why you tripping? If you were coming to the Blue Church, I was
yeah,
on the drums. It was the Blue
okay
Church.
then,
Oh,
I was on the
okay
drums.
then, okay then,
I
okay.
was on the drums. I was.
Yes,
Yes.
it was
Yes.
then. So
Yes. I
okay,
got it.
so dope. Thank you, because I was like, I
Yeah.
needed to know that.
I-
But I want to say this, like, uh, credit to your father, of course. He
yeah.
was running the church at the time. I just could not. What the few things I liked about Koinonia was that the fact that your father was real.
Mm,
Like when I say he was like a real pastor, like he would
yeah.
talk about his own experiences that he probably wasn't proud of back in the days,
Yeah.
and deliver those, you know,
So
as messages in the church.
you talk about his comment, but how he says that he would drink anything wet and smoke
Yeah.
anything passive, smoke anything being passed.
Yes. I was like, yo, where am I?
He
I don't
still say
know.
that to this day.
But I love this guy. Okay, because it was just I grew up in like Anglican church where everything was stations of the cross. The whole
Right.
this was a whole new world for me.
Yeah.
And then the other thing I really appreciated about Koinonia was the fact that our returning citizens were always welcome there. It didn't matter
Always.
what you had on. Nobody
Mm-hmm.
judged you. The love that was in that room every time I was in there. Yo,
Mm-hmm.
that was some real stuff, man. So I gotta shout out Courtney. I gotta shout out, you and your family, your mom, everybody. It was just so much love in that church, man. So much love.
I appreciate you, man. And listen, that's where I was raised, and to this day I still go there, and I sing on the praise team. You know, my dad has been. I mean, he still preached the word, and and when we turned 18, Papa Keith, my dad told us that listen, you can go to another church if you want to, but
Wow.
you you gotta go to church, and we stayed there. I
Mhm.
mean, because the word was good. Like even now to this day, like I mean, my dad just turned 80, and he's still going strong, man. And listen, the word is always good. You always get something from it.
That's what's up, man. Well, thank you for
Yeah.
allowing me to share that story with you,
I
man.
appreciate that.
Can we
Yeah,
give some more
Janae.
flowers? Because and I want to do this while I have you on live because I don't think people understand like I've reached out to you and other front runners about just staying neutral and I just want to say I appreciate you for not making me feel any sort of way or like I had to lean to one side or another. And I'll give that to you to you and the front runners. Like it hasn't been that. So I just want to give you your flowers for that because we got each other phone number. That's the
Man,
and
listen,
and
man.
and then also too, you gave me my first, I would say, like big opportunity
Oh,
to moderate the panel with Jasmine Crockett
yeah.
and Ben Crump with my co-host, my good friend Dwight Bullard. And people don't know you are my first tri-county byline. I interviewed
Wow.
Shevrin. That's how I met you. You were working with the South Florida Youth Summit
Yep.
and I was able to get my byline in the Miami Herald, Sun Sentinel, and Palm Beach Post because of that story. I did my first like video editing covering you. So we go way back to
It
my
is way
intern
back.
days.
Woo.
So when I say like it's really love, like
Yeah.
it's really love. And I just want to give you your flowers in front of the Chevronites to let them know like y'all may
Not the
think I
Chevron
lean
nights.
another way, but I I love Chev too. So it's just certain things you're not going to see on my platform when it comes to this race because of the deep roots and ties and love that I have, for you. So I just wanted to give you your flowers and just say thank you. And while I have you on our platform because you have definitely looked out and played, a pivotal role throughout my career. So thank
Oh
you.
man, I appreciate
That's
you,
dope.
Jay. I mean, I'm proud of both you and PK. I mean, first of all, I think all of us started at the same time, like
Yes, Chev,
14
that was a
years ago.
time.
Like
Yeah.
all of and to
I
see
see
like just
Ernisha in the chat. Like it
our
was like
Nisha
a
in the
time
chat.
with like a certain age
I
of millennials.
I
We were
know.
like doing our
Yeah,
thing.
we were doing our thing, man. Yeah, people will never remember Friday night when we black young professional. Oh, they gonna never know. They'll never realize that. But here's what I will say though. Like people, someone came up to me yesterday say, I see you and Oliver like y'all dapping it up and stuff like that. Listen, it's like who was it? Mike Tyson and Floyd Mayweather when they fought with each other. You know what? You remember what Floyd Mayweather said? He said, "That's my mentor. That's my friend. But in this ring, that's my opponent.
Mm,
Like like that's you. At the end of the day, the individual who wins is the person who gets the message out to the people. I just
simple
see
as that.
politics. I see it different.
Yeah. And I'm glad you addressed that because I think people think you guys are enemies. And I'm like, I literally was with you guys at the ASAP being formed luncheon and y'all joking, y'all like I'm like, it's not what people think it is personally. Like you said, we're opponents. We in the ring. We going it's competition, but that doesn't mean I hate this person. And I think
Hmm.
sometimes in our community we don't quite understand the dynamics of like political
Hmm.
races. So it's like you
Yeah,
have to hate this person if you support another person. I'm like, no,
man.
I don't.
You know, and listen, if you ever and trust me, if you were ever in the debate club in high school, you know this ain't nothing.
That part. That part. Hey, Chef, we know you got a busy couple weeks, man,
Yeah, man.
and you had a long day today. So again, we want to be respectful of your time, but thank you so
Thank you,
much,
man.
brother. We wish you the best. Thank you for what you've done for us. If we've been able to talk about here today a bit, and people who are in this chat room here to celebrate you. What I mean. One thing I do feel proud of, is that we have a good group of people that's trying to do some good stuff. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So who makes it to the top is going to be, I love to see it, you know
Lord.
what I mean?
Yeah.
But just knowing that you're in there and a few others that I really respect, man, it makes me so proud,
Yeah.
So thank you.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Love y'all, man.
Do you have anything that you want to plug? Any upcoming events? How people could follow, donate,
Yeah.
support, volunteer? Let's give that information out.
Yeah, first of all, y'all running tight ship because it's almost 9:30, and y'all, they told me from 8:30 to 9:30, and it's 9:27. So let me hurry up and do this. You can donate at chevronjones.com. Some events that we have coming up: the Teddy Bridgewater Act and Coaches Appreciation, because we're honoring some coaches in Miami-Dade County. Will
Okay.
happen this Saturday at 11 o'clock at the Teddy Bridgewater Field. Come out for this bill signing. Brother Teddy's going to be there with some other people. What else is happening? The property tax town hall meeting is happening on Monday at Rolling Oaks Park at 6:30 p.m. We have the Florida Realtors that's going to be there, and we also have the League of Women Voters that's going to be there. You can ask questions and everything. Come out and be a part of it. It's 9:28, y'all.
Love it. And go to Chevron's social media page to figure out how to donate, volunteer, support, and all of that good stuff as well. I already know all y'all in the chat got it, but we just gonna give the plug. Thank you so much, Chevron. This is
Hey,
amazing.
love
Senator
y'all,
Chevron
man.
Jones.
Love you, brother.
I love you too, man.
Thank you,
All right.
Senator.
Thank you, man. Bye.
All
Good
right, don't
night.
hang up quite yet. Oh, he's gone. Damn it.
Oh, what you want to tell them? Oh, to keep
Yeah,
the
yeah, no,
video.
it's all good. It's all good, man. Hey, listen, shout out to everyone. Thank you so much for tapping in with us today. That Part Podcast, of course, our guest, Senator Shevrin Jones, running for that congressional district seat number 24. If you like what you heard, we're gonna have more people that are gonna be on the platform each week. We're kind of focusing on District 24 and District 20. They are like really important races. Not that all of them are not. We have a little bit more time for the gubernatorial race, so we're kind of focused on those two congressional seats. So we're going to try to get in, switch it up a little bit next week and get in somebody on the congressional district 20 seat, which is more Broward County. Give our Broward folks an opportunity to chime in and hear some of the candidates and what they have to say as well.
Yes. Look, the chat has been going crazy. I love the podcast comments because they are a thing of their own. And I just want to tell, like Ernisha, friend of the show, she said it's 1:30 in Africa and she stayed up. She's been, by
Wow.
continent, and she said she couldn't miss this. So I just find that to be amazing. But I've been having different people who live in different states. Or different cities outside of South Florida said they have been tuned into Miami politics, through our platform, through Hello News, and they're like
Yeah.
just so plugged in and like so connected to it. So that just goes to a testament of like what this election season is and what it means to people.
No, for sure. As you talk about that, Janae, please let them know about what you're doing on Hilo News because I mean we do this once a week, but you're on Hilo News like about every other day, talking about different topics. I was watching you go off on the transportation, and so happy you brought it up as a topic, tonight with Chev. But please let them know how they can tap in and keep those conversations going.
Yeah, no, definitely tap in with Hilo News. That's HYLONEWS. We got our merch everywhere. So if you can't spell it, here it is. But yeah, also too, I would say follow my personal Facebook page because we get it popping over there. So look at my name, spell it, search me on Facebook, follow me over there because we have a lot of uncut, fun conversations over there about politics and we get it going. But thank you guys for supporting and locking in with Hilo News like never before this election season. Also, too, we're going to be the interviews that me and Papa Keith can't do. We'll be doing them on the Can We Talk podcast. I've actually today figured out my schedule, so we'll be going live Tuesdays and Thursdays on High Low News' platform, and on Wednesday. So 3 days a week, you will see me doing this podcast, especially from now until August 18th, because there are a lot of like key races. So definitely tap in with High Low News. We're going to be doing candidate interviews. We're going to be doing questionnaire. Listicle articles for judicial races for the judges. That word about to make me choke. Whoever
Remember,
running
we,
for a
we
judge,
we say things in layman terms, so
I
go for
know.
it. Come on now.
If you
Stop trying to
if you
be
want to know who
fancy,
the
Janae.
judges are, we gonna be doing that. All of our podcast interviews will be turned into articles as well. So, and I'll be creating a voter guide from all of the content, election content that we do before the August 18th primary. So just tap in with High Low News. We got our ear to the street. We're doing podcast interviews. We have content. We have social media, our email newsletter, podcast, website. So a lot of content information. I'm about to do a mad sprint as much content. I put out a mass call to my freelancers today. I was like, we got to do about 50 pieces of content between
Mm,
now and August 18th. And they're all hands on deck. So we're going to get it done. But definitely, you guys have been asking for it, and I've been wanting it to deliver because I think this information is needed. And a lot of times, our races don't get the mainstream treatment. They don't get full, long, interviews to be able to explain their stance. And we need to be able to, give our candidates that platform. So I'm glad what
that
we're
part.
doing and what High Low News is doing so that local candidates are able to share why they deserve your vote. And
And
y'all
please
could chime in and
subscribe.
tell them what you think.
Yeah, please take the moment to subscribe with us right now. Please, it's very important that you subscribe with us. So before you leave us, please subscribe. Please like, please share. There's a lot of folks who couldn't make it, who have different schedules. I see we had over 60 people in here today at one
Really?
time. Yeah, we did. Uh,
Dang. I
so
didn't see.
please spread the word. You can share this whole podcast with your people. So please share it. Follow Hilo News on Instagram. Follow Janey Tate on Instagram. Follow Papa_Keith on Instagram. Follow Just Vote Period on Instagram. And please subscribe to our podcast. This is also thanks to Janey, a part of my podcast network as well. Um, so, there's a plethora of interviews and information that we are constantly delivering on. So please explore it, have fun with it. You'll be there for hours. You can literally
Yes.
start now, and by our next show next week, you you still ain't go through half of the stuff that we got up. Am I lying, Janae?
No, I'm not lying. You've been killing it with the interviews. So y'all definitely go check out Papa Keith's YouTube page. Yeah, but like you said, like, subscribe. And if you want to advertise with us, look, we have a captive audience who are decision makers and voters. So I think it's a smart move to advertise with us. I'm gonna always plug that because this is a labor of love and
Sure.
we are investing in this ourselves. So
Sure.
y'all give us some coins so we can keep doing it.
That part. Thank you so much. Janae, hang out with me, but we'll see y'all next week. Hilo News. Make sure you follow them, man. They'll keep you
Oh, can I
entertained
give
and,
a
and
plug?
informed.
For
Of course.
tomorrow, Hello
Yeah.
News, we're going to be live. We're going to be doing interviews with two candidates from the Miami Gardens City Council race,
Oh,
Mr. Rod
nice.
Mack and Miss Makita Cherry Prime. They're going to be separate interviews. They're not a
Oh,
forum.
I
But
was finna say,
oh
let
no,
me
no,
in on that.
look. They wanted me. She was like, "Is it a forum?" I was like, "No, I'm not doing a forum." But maybe we need to do one with them because the way the people been saying they want a forum, but no, it's gonna be two separate
Because they're
interviews.
actually in the same race, so that would
No,
be
that's all.
crazy.
But I got them both on the
Oh,
show
I'm tapped
tomorrow.
in tomorrow. I'm tapped
But I
in.
feel like people deserve their one-on-one. There are some
Yeah, yeah, for
forums and stuff
sure.
like that are happening that I think somebody asked me to do. So we'll have that going. But
Yeah,
tomorrow, I want to give the candidates their one-on-one shine to be able to
for
act,
sure.
talk the way Shevrin did. But we need to do one with Mr. Rod and Miss Makita Cherry
You know,
Prime. I
sunshine, you don't
don't know.
know about. You don't know about. Hey, good night, y'all. We appreciate and love you, man.
Good night, y'all. Love y'all.
That part.